Hi, I'm Terry from Bed and Biscuits Boarding and Training Facility. This is Taffy. She doesn't like to heel. I think she's probably been carried around in a lap, maybe in the wheelchair a little bit. But she doesn't really like to heel. I've tried different collars. I've got one on her right now, but I think sometimes, like what I'm doing now also, is I just loop the leash around her neck, and she seems to like that the most. I think the more and more we do it, the better she'll get. But anyway, I think this is your leash. It's just like a 5 or 6 foot leash. And through all these exercises, the dog will be at your left side. The dog is always at your left side. So with a wheelchair, I would do the same thing. I'd always try to have the dog on the left side of your wheelchair or walker or whatever you have. I would always have the dog on the left side. Okay? We're going to do the heel, the sit stay, the down stay, the recall. We'll go through the hand signals as well as the verbal commands through all of them. When we return, we'll start out with a heel on leash. Okay. She's at your left side. I'm just going to start walking you. You're going to do it in your wheelchair or your walker. Just keep her at your left side. And if she stops, a lot of times she likes to stop and sniff or just doesn't want to go in the direction you want to go. You're going to see she's probably going to do that. I just keep walking. Look and keep your wheelchair going the direction you want to go and keep going, and she'll come along with you. I use a high-pitched voice and tell her to be a good girl, even though sometimes she's not being a good girl, and she follows right along beside me. You want to try, babe? You ready? You ready? Come on, Taffy. Heel. Come on. Come on, Taffy. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on, good girl. Come on. Come on. That's a good girl. Come on. Good girl, Taffy. Good girl. Come on. As soon as you stop walking, she should automatically sit. Good girl. Praise your dog. Okay, this is going to be Taffy's sit stay. She sits very good. Just the hand signal to sit, by the way, just bring your hand up like that. And then you put the palm of your hand in her face. When she's looking, tell her to stay. You can walk or wheel your wheelchair just the distance of your leash. Tell her to stay. Stay. And then you're going to stand out there or sit in your wheelchair just for, I would only do it for 3 or 4 seconds to start out with. And then as you do it more and more, after a few days, you can add it up 20 seconds, 30 seconds, even a couple minutes, but don't try to go too fast that way. Work in small increments. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Stay. I just reinforce the stay with the palm of my hand and telling her to stay. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Exercise finished and praise your dog. Good girl. Okay, this is going to be just like the sit stay, but it's going to be the down stay. Put her in a sit, okay? And you're going to turn and face her. Not sure how you'll do this with the wheelchair, if you can reach down, if the wheelchair's low enough, I'm not sure, but what you need to do is put your fingers close to the ground as you can in front of her and tell her to down, okay? I only tell her like twice. If she doesn't do it the first time, ask her one more time, and then I make her go down. And she usually does pretty good. Okay, good girl, you ready? Down. 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 Okay, she didn't quite do it, so I'm just gonna pull this foot. Good girl, stay. Reinforce word, stay, stay. 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 Down, stay. Stay. Good girl, stay. 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 Exercise finished and praise your dog. Okay, this is going to be Taffy's recall. So far with the hand signals, okay? We've got the sit. We've got the stay. We've got, you put your finger right to the ground and tell her to down. So it's sit, stay, down. Now we're going to do the recall where you're going to tell her to sit, stay, walk out to the end, or wheel your wheelchair out to the end of your leash, face her, and to recall, to call her, is bring your hand to your chest and ask her to come. I usually use her name, nice high-pitched voice like she would like to come to you, and tell her to come. And I like her to come and sit in front of me. Doesn't have to sit. What we're trying to work for is later on off leash. When you call her, she comes to you, okay? Okay, sit, Taffy, good girl. Stay, stay, stay. Taffy, come, come. Exercise finished. Good girl, baby. Okay, for a conclusion, she's done really well. She's a little stubborn, and sometimes she gets her feelings hurt kind of easy, but she's a sweetheart. So I just have to kind of take it easy with her and do little by little by little, and she's done really well. Her jumping, I think we talked about that in the office when you were here the other day, and you would like her to be able to jump up on your lap while you're in your wheelchair, and she's probably not ever going to get much bigger, so that's a decision you have to make. Like I explained to you then, if you let her get in your lap, or anybody does when they're sitting, she's going to jump on you when the people are standing, okay? So that's not a very desirable trait, but you have to make up your mind whether, because you have to do it cold turkey. If you don't want her jumping on you or other people when they're standing, you can't let her on your lap while you're sitting. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is she's still trying to jump on us quite a bit because, I don't know exactly. I don't remember which way you said you wanted to go. I think you wanted to hold her still. So the good thing is she's not going to get much bigger. So when she jumps, she doesn't really hurt you like a bigger dog would. But it's something you can always work on later if you decide that she's jumping too much on everybody. You can stop at cold turkey, stop picking her up on your lap, and then everybody work at keeping her off. What I do is when she goes to jump, I tell her off, off, and I put my hands over the top over like this so she can't jump up when she's real excited. Give her all the attention she wants while she's all 4 feet on the ground, and she'll learn after a while that that's the way she's going to get more attention if she's down on all 4 feet. When she's jumping, she's going to get everybody yelling at her off and holding her down. So she would learn. She has learned with me quite a bit, but she still tries to jump a little bit with me. So going in and out of doorways, what I do is I put her in a sit, tell her to stay. I open up the door. Sometimes she'll pop up, put her back in a sit, the door all the way open, then I tell her to stay, and I walk through the door first. Then I do a recall. I tell her to come. So I use pretty much all those hand signals and verbal commands just walking through a door. The sit, the stay, and the come. I do it going in the kennel as well as coming out. That way when you open up a door, it'd be very nice if you were, especially in a wheelchair or in a walker, you put her in a sit, tell her to stay, and you walk through the door first or wheel your wheelchair through the doorway first. So that's kind of beneficial to a lot of people. But she's done really, really good. So thank you for letting me work with her. Good girl, man.